Hello friends, Kevin here, back at it again with the Tea Time Tuesday special. What we're going to be talking about today is the sway and slide characteristic of the golf swing. Sway and slide are both a backswing and downswing characteristic. What you'd anticipate to see in a normal swing is for the right-handed golfer. On the backswing, the person will be able to kind of pivot around this right hip, so being able to rotate around the right hip, looking something like so. But in a sway position, what you'd anticipate to see is actually the person's moving too much in this plane of motion, making it very hard to stabilize and hit a consistent shot. Slide is the exact opposite. It's actually a downswing fault. So in a normal position, the person on the downswing would anticipate a little bit of a weight transfer towards the front of the foot. However, what we would not want to see is too much transfer to the beyond the foot. And again, that's going to lead to a very inconsistent shot because there's a lot of moving parts. Another thing that you'll actually notice, you actually lose a lot of power, mainly because you're hitting the ball a lot fatter or you're even hitting it a lot thinner. So in order to address these things, what we want to take a look at is actually your hip mobility to make sure that you have enough motion in the rotation plane, and then also stability to be able to control these movements laterally. So the first thing you're going to do for the sway and slide characteristic is actually try and open up the hips a little bit. So a great exercise to do pre-round or right before you hit the tee box is actually a hip opener. So you're going to be bringing your leg up and bringing it out to the side, and bringing your other leg up, bringing it out to the side. You can also bring it in and then use the other leg to bring it in. Another good exercise while at home is actually onto your back. You're going to be lying down. Your feet are going to be about shoulder width apart. And what you're going to do is you're going to bring your legs, both legs, down towards the mat or down towards the floor, and then straight to the other side. If you can, try to limit the amount of back motion going on. It should just be coming from the hips. So it's very good for the right-handed golfer. When you go to the right, it replicates the downswing. When you go to the left, it actually replicates the backswing. So the second thing that we're going to want to do to address the sway and slide swing faults is actually work on the stability of the hips. So there's two great exercises that you can do at home that involve the use of a resistance band and potentially a club or a counter or something to stabilize yourself. So the first exercise is called a fire hydrant. To do this exercise, you're going to be on one leg, balance on one leg, bringing your leg up, and the best way I can describe the motion is actually imagine a dog taking a leak on a fire hydrant. So what you're going to do is you're going to rotate the hip out to the side, still staying nice and balanced on the one leg and bringing it back slow and controlled. The other exercise is very similar. It's actually just straight out to the side. So again, balance on one leg, bringing the leg out to the side and bringing it back in. Bringing the leg out to the side and bring it back in. And if you're finding it very difficult to balance, what you can use is a club, a counter, whatever, to give yourself a little extra support to make sure you're doing these motions correctly. So lastly, there are a few other things that can cause the sway and slide characteristics. One is very poorly fitting shoes. You want to make sure your shoes are nice and stable so that you can transfer the forces from the ground into your body and ultimately into the club. The second thing that can cause sway and slide is actually the ball position. So it might be too far back in your stance, might be too far forward in your stance. So you're going to want to talk to your golf professional to address those things. Other than that, I hope you found these tips beneficial. And remember, hit them straight.